Hello and welcome to the Canadian Edge. Time for another knife review today, and we have a different looking knife on the table today. Today it is a knife called the Rampage Tailwind, and I saw this thing and I thought, wow, this is an interesting looking knife. I would like to investigate this more. It was very inexpensive. And for good reason, it was inexpensive, but it piqued my curiosity, and so I thought I would check it out and see just what it had to offer. So this is the Rampage Tailwind, and you can see just from looking at it why I found it an interesting looking knife. So it has a blade length of 3.5 inches. Open, it is 8 inches long. Closed, it is 4.75 inches. The steel on this is a 3CR13, and the weight is 3.1 ounces. Now they tote it on their website as the world's lightest knife, but 3.1 ounces is not the world's lightest knife. There are other knives that are lighter than that, so it's still pretty light. 3.1 ounces is pretty light knife. And the handle is made from aluminum and steel, and they've colored the one side black and the other is a blue coloring to it. And the pocket clip on this, it is a right hand carry, but I believe you could flip it around to this side. I didn't bother. It wasn't that big a deal to me to have it that way, or you could possibly carry it on this side with the tip up. But as you get it from the factory, it is tip down right hand carry. It also is liner lock. Actually, that's more of a frame lock on that. They say liner lock, but the liner is the frame, so yeah, that could be considered just a frame lock as well on there. And also it is a flipper tab opening, and they say it has a ball bearing pivot in it. I didn't take it apart to see if it has ball bearing, but it is a pretty smooth opening knife and fairly smooth action. Not quite drop close, but it doesn't take a lot of effort to get it to close. So, and my favorite, it does have jimping on the back and also on the handle, I guess, to give you a little more grip, because this is an interesting handle, and we'll get into that in a few moments. There is, however, no blade play on this, so up and down, side to side, which, considering this was, I think this was like a $22 knife, it seems to sit in there solid, so that is a plus, especially when you're getting an inexpensive $22 knife. Size wise, as I say, it is 8 inches long, and compared to the Elementum, you can see it does have a bit of size. And with the Ontario Rat 2, it is, if we line up the backs of them, you can see it has a good inch anyway on these knives. And we'll do a couple more here. We got the SOG and the Spyderco Tenacious, the Terminus and the Tenacious, and so it is bigger than both of those as well. So 8-inch knife, if you're interested in a bigger knife, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you want something that looks different than most knives out there, this might be a knife for you. The aesthetics on it. My wife and a couple friends, they grabbed it and said, wow, and my son, it actually feels pretty good in the hand. It's not bad considering you look at the handle and what you get. It's not too bad in the hand. Would I call it comfortable? No. Not horrible, just not something I'd want to hang on to for a long extended period of time. There's not a lot in through here that's giving you purchase. There's enough, but not a whole lot. And so you feel this jimping when you have it in your hand. And fortunately, it's not aggressive jimping. It's fairly rounded. So it wouldn't be a problem. It does give you that grip, but it's not something that I would call a comfortable grip. But I do like the aesthetics of it. It is an interesting looking knife. It's not like anything I have in my collection. It's definitely different. Almost has a bit of a cutlass look to it or something like that. It's definitely something that people would look at and go, wow, that's different. So it does have a definite wow factor to it, that you look at this and go, yeah, wow, the colors, the shape, it's a different looking knife. But ergonomically, not exactly my cup of tea. And I know there's people out there that do own these, because I saw a couple people that reviewed on them, and they like them. Just not my cup of tea. It would be interesting for conversation piece, but not something I would necessarily carry as an EDC. And as I said, the pivot on it is not too bad. It's fairly smooth. It fires every time. No problem opening it, no problem closing it. For $22, you can't complain on the pivot. Few of the things I'm not that crazy about, and I don't know if you can see it. I carried this for probably a week in my pocket, and already the bluing is wearing off in places. So it's not coated. I'm not sure what the coating is, but it would definitely wear off if you were to use this knife a lot. It would wear off quite quickly, and you would be left with a silver, blue, and black. The black seems to be more durable than what the blue coating is. So, not crazy about that. I like my coatings to stay on if you're going to get them. Get a knife that is coated. It doesn't necessarily, as you can see, line up. I didn't bother to take the time to center the blade. Not sure. I'm not sure that I'll even take the time to center the blade, because as I say, for me, it's not going to be an EDC knife, so not that worried about it. It opens and closes just fine sitting where it is, so probably won't do the effort. And it's not super comfortable in the pocket because of the design of it. You do feel this knife when you dig into your pocket, and just not the smoothest thing in the pocket when you have it in there. So it's okay. It's not horrible. Fortunately, it is very slim, and all the edges are rounded, so you don't cut yourself or anything. It's not sharp edges. It just, you do notice it. And it's not quite a deep carry. So you do have knife sticking out. So this, again, will get wear and tear and probably wear off the coating quite quickly. But for $22, you can't really complain. It's a decent little knife. It would be a good conversation piece. Definitely grab attention if you were to bring it out and slice an apple or tomatoes or things like that, or if you were the type of person to take this camping, and that you would probably find that it does attract attention. So how about sharp wise? What does it do sharp wise? It's not too bad. It seems to go through the paper quite well. No real issues there. How about zap strap? Now with that curved blade, I have a feeling it's going to want to ride up on the blade. It went through actually pretty decent. Took a little more effort than some knives, but in that I just pulled the rope back and it cut through there. And that one, same thing. Just gave a little pull on the rope and a little push, and it went through pretty good. So it does come with a decent edge on it. And yeah, if you're just looking for an interesting knife that doesn't cost a lot of money, you want a conversation piece, something that'd grab attention, this could be a knife for you. It, however, will not make my EDC rounds and won't be something that I carry on a daily basis. But it is an interesting knife, and I'm quite surprised for the money that you pay for it. It seems like a solid knife. Like, I think you would get a lot of use out of this, and that it would hold up fairly well. So don't let the price point and that scare you away. With a little bit of adjusting and that, you could have it lined up and working probably even better than it is now, or you could just leave it because it works great. So that is the Rampage Tailwind, and here in Canada you can find these at Warriors and Wonders. I didn't research to see where else you can get these, but they do have a couple places online that you can buy them. So, and they have a couple different versions of these knives. So Rampage Tailwind, check them out if you're looking for an inexpensive conversation piece. All right, thank you for joining me on this review. I'll be doing another review in a couple days. Until then, I will say stay safe and stay sharp.